to the Magnified. Check this out. I'm magnified cause it's vivid. Televised when you see me. Visualize your TV. Oh my God, we trending.
Hi viewers, welcome to Magnified Fashion. I'm here today with the incredible, beautiful, I don't even know, I'm privileged today to have him or to interview him here today with me. He's got over 3.2 million followers on Instagram. He's also a content creator. He's incredible in the things he does. No other person than Nedu. Welcome, Nedu, to Magnified Fashion.
Thank you.
I'm so honored and privileged to have you here today to actually interview you because I know you're a very, very busy person. But out of your busy schedule, you've been able to come out to grace Magnified Fashion to be with us today. Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Can you just let the viewers know a little bit about yourself, like your background, and just shed a little bit light about you so that people that don't actually know you get to know you? And obviously, I know you as Nedu, but I'm sure you have your other names. Just want to let the viewers know.
Well, my name is, I don't want to talk, my name is like proper Igbo Nigerians. My name is Annie. Annie is my surname. Yeah. My first name is Manuel, Chinedu. Annie Chinedu Emmanuel, pretty much. I'm originally Igbo. I'm from Enugu State. I was born in Kaduna. I grew up in Kaduna. And I'm a broadcast journalist, a content creator, a comedian, an actor, pretty much, and everything that brings money. That's what I am.
I know, and I actually personally follow you on your Instagram. Yeah. And I know, apart from you being a content creator, being a TV presenter, you also have your podcast.
Yeah, I do.
Which very much, I love watching your podcast, I must say, because you are very authentic. Yeah. And you don't filter your words on your podcast. You say it exactly how it is. And obviously, people are going to critique that.
Obviously.
And that's what makes you
obviously
Nedu here. Obviously. And I've watched that podcast and I can say it's very engaging. Yeah. And you do engage your viewers as much as you also engage those that are also presenting with you. Yeah. But going forward, I just want to know, do you have siblings? What's your background like in terms of your family? Do you have siblings?
I have one sibling. To cut the long story short, I have one sibling, I have a brother. It didn't used to be like that. I am a twin, so I had a twin sister, but she died.
Oh wow, so sorry to hear that.
Nah, it's okay.
I know.
And then we have two other siblings that died as well. One had sickle cell and the other one died. So it's just one sibling, just me and my brother.
Wow, and you guys are very close, obviously.
Yeah, we're close. I mean, we talk.
Okay, that's good. And in terms of your upbringing, how would you say it was? Would you say you were privileged, or was it challenging, or did you have a bit of struggle growing up?
I did. I'm not going to call them challenging. I wouldn't say it was, because personally, as a person, as an individual, I've never seen anything as challenging. Right. I always believe everything happens for a reason. I always believe, there's steps to getting you where you need to be. Now, if you are going with Christianity, and the Bible says that God knows the end before the beginning.
Absolutely.
And the plan that God has for everybody is of good and not of evil. I mean, your destiny is, everybody has their own destiny.
Absolutely.
But if God's plan for you is of good and not of evil, and everything that happens is for your own good, it means everything that happens is meant to happen for your own good. Whether it's good or bad, it's probably leading you somewhere. There's a lot of things that's going to happen to someone. You could say war don't end. But at the end of the day, you go thank God, see that thing will happen because it made you who you are. So it happened for a reason. So my growing up wasn't challenging. It wasn't. I just think it's a bit of both. Whether it was, growing up as a with well-to-do parent or not, it was just a bit of mishmash of both of them actually. So, and I'm glad I grew up how I did.
Because would you say that actually shaped you to the
Oh,
man
it did.
you are today?
It did. I mean, 100%. Because the truth is, if I had, there's no how. It's like going back in time. It's like time travel.
Right.
Now, when you time travel back and you say, okay, let me go and change this thing about me. When you come back into the present, the time traveling you did, thing you've changed must have affected every other thing, and it probably turn out to be something totally different. But if you have the mindset that everything's going to be great regardless of whatever, you have set that thing up in the universe, so however it goes is going to end up well. Now the thing is, growing up how I did, I grew up in the Face Me and Slap You compound.
Wow.
Where you have, you know, this neighbor opposite this neighbor, 2 rooms, 1 room.
I know how it is.
This person when this person they warm soup, you go no say this soup don't sour. Then they warm this soup for like 1 week. You know those kind of compound.
I understand.
Exactly. So that's where I grew up. As I grew up before my parents now moved out to their own house. Now the thing is, in that same compound, that was where I learned how to speak Yoruba.
Wow.
That was where I learned how to speak Igala. And also, given the fact that I grew up in Kaduna, and predominantly what we speak there is Hausa, so it was quite easy for me to learn the 3 languages. Hence, my name Nedu Wazobia, because I speak those 3 languages.
So that's where that. So would we say Nedu Wazobia is more like a stage name?
It's a stage name.
Oh, wow.
I mean, a lot of people used to think because I worked with Wazobia FM, hence, but no, because I actually speak those languages and more, which is why I gave myself that name.
So, is that how you now probably got into comedy? Have you always known that that's the area where I know you've got other strengths, but comedy is one thing that a lot of people identify with you.
Well, I didn't always know I was going to do comedy, to be honest with you. I went to school to study accounting.
Oh, wow.
You understand?
Total different things,
Totally different things entirely. But, I mean, the comedy was always there. You try to see the fun and everything is always there because my dad is someone that is very funny. He always, cracks people up and stuff. And, it was, I don't even like self now. When I don't even come up for university self, that was when I started thinking, it could maybe. You get me? I mean, in school, I was the one that was making my friends laugh. I had jokes that I created myself, a lot of things. But still, I didn't think that was what I wanted to do. I felt okay after university that I was going to go, I was going to work with a bank and make money, be an accountant, just like my mom wanted me to be.
Exactly.
But it turned out to be something totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah.
I'm quite intrigued, when you speak your language and the way you're able to intersect from English to Hausa to Igbo and just being able to mix all those languages together. It's really, really brave, and it takes a lot of talent to be able to do that. And you're able to also create that in your context that you do. Do you think it's a bit of a difficult thing for you, or does it just come natural for you?
It's not a difficult thing. It's never been a difficult thing. I mean, it just comes natural. It just comes natural in creating content. And now the thing is, people think Nedu is one person. Nedu is not one person. I mean, you're just seeing an individual. A lot of people that knows Nedu is almost up to 4 or 5 people.
Oh, wow.
But a lot of people see one person or mostly 2 people. Mostly one person, but there are 2 major people. There are 3, there are 4, there are 5. The whole package of Nedu is not... Nedu is a brand. And there are people in the brand that makes the brand. There is husband material, there is Austin, there is the management.
Oh, wow.
I mean, so it's not just me. So when you have these people, the team, they also help you bring out yourself. The best in you. So over time, it's become something that is quite natural. I can be speaking English, and the next thing is switch you go my Baganyimbo, and then my Yoruba, then my Banya house. So you get what I'm saying? It's quite simple.
I watch your content, the content you always create, and I find it very intriguing. I'm always so fascinated how you're so able to switch so quickly. When you speak your Hausa, you come out very well. You speak it fluently, and then you switch again to Yoruba and to Igbo. In terms of preparing your skits, I know you flow naturally, but is there a lot of work you put in there to create those contents? You create your skits and your contents?
Oh, we're putting a lot of work.
Oh, wow.
We're putting a lot of work. And largely the credit of that goes to Husband Material because he's the director of most of the content creating. He just calls and says, okay, we need to shoot this thing, or it should go this way, or it should not go this way, it should go this way. So he's more like the director. Everybody has their role that they play. Do you know what I'm saying? He brings the content and directs. My own is just to fool myself. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into it, to be quite honest with you. There's some times where we don't have stories to shoot. Do you get what I'm saying? But that does not mean we will not shoot. Now we might be shooting one story, and then immediately while we're shooting that story, another story is out of it, another story is out. So it just keeps coming. But the thing is, there's always something to shoot. There's always. But yeah, a lot of work goes into it. But at the same time, it's not that much of a work if it's your Eva. I'm working in Japan now.
Do you get
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's your in here, you get the point.
It's your in here.
Yes.
In terms of your industry, I know that industry is very, very challenging.
Oh, very.
And you are part of that industry. And how have you been able to break through it? In terms of, like, if we have upcoming people that, they're watching you and they want to be like you, and they aspire, and they're working hard, to be like you, because you come across to them as their role model. I know the industry is very, very challenging. Would you be able to shed some kind of light, the kind of challenges you faced and how you were able to overcome it?
Well, the thing is, like I said earlier, we don't see anything as a challenge. We just skate through everything. I mean, we just believe if something happens, is a reason for you to work harder to get you to where you need to be, to the next level. For example, there's this example I give on the podcast. When someone calls you for a job, you're an MC, you're a compare, someone calls you for a job, you have to ask that person, instead of telling that person, okay, this is my price that you're gonna need to pay me. First thing that I tell people to ask, which someone actually taught me, I tell people to ask, you ask the person that's contracting you, what is your budget? Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
When the person tells you their budget for you, it tells you how that person sees you, how that person values you.
Right. Makes sense.
Do you get what I'm saying? No.
Makes sense.
If the person tells you, normally you collect like £2,000
right.
or £3,000, and the
right.
person tells you, I'm going to pay you £200, you now know that you haven't worked hard enough.
No, you're underrating me.
Exactly. It's only you that knows that you're underrated.
Absolutely.
But you now need to show them that they should not underrate you. Now, how do you do that? You work harder times 10 to get to the point where they're not going to underrate you. Now, having said that, it means that you have to keep working hard and hard. Now, there's sometimes, Husband Material can even tell you there's some jobs that they call us for that we're supposed to get. But because you're not from a particular place, they don't give it to you.
Wow.
But what we tell ourselves is, we work hard. It's not a challenge, it's nothing. It just propels us to work harder to the point where you're so good that they can't ignore you. So the thing is, there's always going to be one thing or the other, but you always have to strive. Be your own personal critic. Be your own. You are the one that should be nagging yourself. Do you get me? You are the one that should wake up in the morning and say, okay, I have to do this. I have to. The thing is, that place that you want to be tomorrow. I want to get to that point where I'm like Kevin Hart. Like I'm just, do you get what I'm saying, selling out stadiums and stuff. The question a lot of people need to ask themselves is when you wake up in the morning, the question you should ask is, this place where I want to do tomorrow, where I did today? I did where I go feel lead me to where I want to go tomorrow. I did do what I go feel do where go lead me to where I want to do tomorrow. If I'm not, I buckle up, I do better to help me get there. And if I am, I'm on point, I'm still moving.
No be lie. Makes absolute total sense. I can't go on without talking about your podcast, because you say it's the Honest Bunch podcast.
Yeah.
I find that you don't filter your words.
No, don't.
You say it exactly the way it is.
Yeah.
Your podcast is very engaging. I mean, there's been so many interesting topics you brought up on that podcast. Would you say, I'm going to ask, is there been any of the celebrities that you've had on your podcast that has actually been very difficult to work with?
No, I don't think there's any, because anybody that comes on the podcast, I mean, is always relaxed, you know. Starting from the introduction of husband material, the introduction is always, you know, like the best. That one, first of all, you don't sweet them, you get what I'm saying? And they are more relaxed, and then everybody. I don't think there's ever been anyone that gave us issues, and we just come and then we discuss.
Just the way you need to do.
Yeah.
And I can't go without saying, I know you're an Arsenal fan.
I am an Arsenal fan.
I know you're a dedicated Arsenal fan.
I'm a dedicated. They don't laugh me. The husband material has laughed me. The funny part is him when they laugh me. He's a Man U fan. And
wow.
Man U not they where Arsenal they.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? But I've always been an Arsenal fan for I can't remember as long as possible. I don't try to change because of Arsenal Mumu, but I can't.
But you can make you're full-blown Arsenal fan. Well done.
So.
Yes. So viewers, he is an Arsenal fan, so we can relate with him on that. I know you're in the UK. Is this your first time being in the UK? No, I know.
I have stakes here in the UK.
Oh wow.
Let me just say it like that. I have stakes here. I've been coming here since 2016.
Oh wow, that's a pretty long time.
Yes,
been coming. So you know your way around and stuff like that.
Of course I do.
So in terms of people watching you right now, is there anything you want to say to your viewers, or would you like to collaborate with anyone, or why?
There's a lot of people who like to collaborate with the Nedu brand. We in the Nedu brand, there's a lot of people who like to collaborate with. We always look for opportunity when it comes. I mean, we always grab it when it comes. So we're open to anything to work with anybody. As you see us, so we can work with anybody. Even if you see Mr. Bean today, we can work with anybody.
Wow.
I mean, we have our dreams, we have our aspirations, but whatever works is what we do, to be quite honest with you. And you said something about the podcast, and I'm going to say it before we started. A lot of people have this misconception about the person that I am.
Yeah.
They think, this Nedu, he's a loudmouth, he talks too much. No, it's intentional. The truth is, most of the topics we even discuss on the podcast, it's also material that brings up the topic.
Oh, wow.
Not just him.
Kudos.
We have other people that brings up the topic, but most of them, he's the one that thinks up the topic and we do it. Now, most of those topics, they are very, very intentional. Now, people that say all those things about the podcast or about me are the people that watch just 30 seconds, the promotional clips. If you go on our YouTube, I dare anyone to go to the YouTube and check the comments. 98% comment are positive. Oh, I learned this. Oh, this is my best podcast yet. This is the best one. They relate with it. They tell you, oh, this is my best episode. Wow. Every episode is always the best episode.
It's always the best episode.
It's always the best episode. So you think, which is why, I mean, with all due respect, I'm going to say this. I have the highest disrespect. The highest disrespect for everybody that watches only the 30 seconds clip and casts their aspersions off of it.
Wow.
Like, I have the highest disrespect for you, because it shows that you're not grounded in what you're saying. You just say because people are saying. You just say. As a person, you're supposed to have a fact before you say anything you say. And the truth is, the things I'm saying might not be comfortable with you. The truth, people don't like the truth. That's what I've come to understand. No, people don't like the truth.
Yeah.
But me, I'm not the kind of person where go lie.
You know, you say it the way it is.
As it be.
Now you go talk.
Yeah, I go talk. But you know the funny thing, no matter how I get dragged every week, give it 1 week or 2 weeks, people will still come back. Nedu talk this thing, not true. And now I believe what Nedu said. I'm a broadcast journalist. Husband material is one. We don't just open our mouth and say what we don't know. You have to do your research. You have to understand what you're saying before you say it. Do you get what I'm saying?
So you mean to say that you have facts in everything?
There's always fact before anything you say. So you cannot take away the space. You cannot take away fact. You can have your opinion. Opinion is
different from fact.
Different from fact. Yeah. You can't change facts. So he did it. But the thing is, regardless, we love everybody. Whether those with the events and those without the events, we love everybody. I mean, and one thing we've come to understand, the podcast has huge following in the UK. almost everybody will see, oh, I love a podcast, oh, I love a podcast, oh, I love it. There's some people who not even know what thing they do, not just the podcast they know.
Yeah, because it's raw. I mean, it's really raw, and you don't. The reason why I love it personally is because you don't filter your words at all. You say it exactly the way you say it. You don't care who likes you, who doesn't like you. You know, you come out, you present it, you say it, and that's you being honest, and that's why it's called the honest.
It's exactly. So the thing is, we when they can't watch them, what is
You're
the name of
supposed
the
to
show?
say
You're supposed to know.
say it's supposed to be honest.
We are called the honest bunch.
guy.
We're not like as if now we they talk.
That's so.
But I'm a totally different person from what you see on.
Absolutely.
Everybody will meet me always know that. I'm a totally different. When it's content, it's content. When it's personal life, it's personal life. They're two different things entirely.
But that's what the viewers don't really understand.
No,
you know?
they don't understand.
But they don't really even need to understand that
don't.
because you are doing your job and you're passing your message to your viewers.
Yeah.
And your personality is quite different,
it's totally
you know,
different.
because I've seen you and then I've seen you on your podcast. So I can relate that you're totally two different people. But obviously the viewers out there what they see is what they want to believe.
It's like when you see husband material, he's very quiet.
Oh wow.
He doesn't talk.
But he talks much on the podcast.
Exactly. You see, a lot of people need to differentiate between real life and content creation.
Yeah, true.
Content creation is like person where they act the blue film.
You'll be lying.
Person they act blue film, so you get life out of blue film. They're just an actor. You're just not comfortable with the kind of acting they're doing. That doesn't make them a different person. They are just who they are. Mama G, people hate Mama G because they felt in her movie she's very wicked, Patience Ozoko.
Oh yeah. I watched that great.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We all had that. This woman was wicked. She's very wicked. But she's just a good actor. But it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just that people don't really know where to draw that line, you know. And I think with time, hopefully, people will start to understand.
Hopefully.
That's why I use the word hopefully.
Yes.
That creating content is totally different from somebody's personality.
Exactly.
So, you know, that's good. Would you like to shout out to your family, your friends, or your viewers watching? Is there anything you would like to shout out to say to them?
Just hi to everybody. God bless you. How are you? How's your mommy? How's your daddy? How's your landlord? Hope you're good. I want to say thank you to all of you that is following us. Thank you for supporting the brand. Thank you for supporting the podcast. We appreciate you. We promise to keep getting better every day. For the content, we'll give you the best content ever. For the podcast, we'll give you the same great content. There's still a lot more coming. I always tell us material that I don't think we've done up to 40% of what we're meant to do.
Wow.
It's just
amazing.
scratch. I mean, we have a lot that we need to do still. We have not even started, but we just want to say thank you regardless how far we've come and the support. And we want to say God bless you and keep following us. Thank you very much.
That's good, Nedu. And would you like to share your handles as well for the viewers that don't follow you?
My handle is handle is Nedu_official on Instagram. I had to change that on Instagram for some reasons. And then on TikTok is Nedu Wazobia, on Snapchat Nedu Wazobia, on Twitter is Nedu Wazobia as well. On YouTube to watch our videos. You can follow the Honest Bunch podcast for the podcast, and then for our content on YouTube, you can check our official Nedu TV. It's there. Thank you. And then you can follow us by material Ezugu Chukudi, Ezugu EZUGWU Chukudi
Chukudi. And just lastly, Nedu, before I leave you, how would you want us to remember you? How would you like your viewers to remember you? Is there any food for
we
thought?
added value. We want you to remember that we came, we saw, we conquered, we added value. I mean, we pray to get old.
Yeah.
We're gonna get old.
Yes.
But if anything, say me and Nozo material. Okay, me cannot call us material.
Maybe talk for yourself. Just talk for yourself. You material.
Say we disappear, we're not there. You're always going to remember, there's this person that always says it the way it is. There's this content that always makes me happy. There's this person. Well, I mean, we want to be remembered as the bunch that added value to people, that made you happy when you were sad, that told you the truth, that gave you nuggets of for life, things that's going to help you become a better person and stuff.
Yeah,
So that's it.
You've definitely made me happy. I mean, I've learned one or two things watching your podcast, listening to you, watching your content. There was a recent one you actually did that you did with, we're speaking Hausa. Recently, there was a recent one that you did that I watched. I was quite intrigued by that. I laughed off my head. So I would say it's been a privilege, being here with you today, Nedu, having this opportunity to interview, just to get to know you. I would say it's a chat with Nedu, getting to know Nedu more. So I want to say a big thank you for taking out your time from your busy schedule to be here with us today. And I also want to thank the audience and my viewers for watching as well. So people, continue watching Magnified Fashion, like, share, comment, leave your comment below. Thank you for being with us today. And it's a wrap.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace before you sleep.
Peace before you sleep.
Hold up, I'm Magnified and it's good to know ya. I've got fire, yeah, my Pandora. I cut the chase with a man them, cause we got the anthem. I'm